This is actually going to be a different kind of episode. I'm going to be talking about different games or whatnot, but I'm going to be talking about some of the games and their money practices and things like that. So, yeah. Okay. Let's start with Destiny 2, actually. Okay. Because Destiny 2 is fresh on my mind. The reason it's fresh on my mind because my nephew, of all things, my nephew is, or rather, he was a big fan of Destiny 2. I say was because he would get on with his friends, and sometime I would get on with him, and we did some missions and stuff. The other day, we actually did a Vanguard strike. Well, he has been getting into another game lately, and I asked him what made him decide to switch games and stuff. He said two things which I found interesting. One, really just one thing, but he said two things at the same time without even saying the second thing. First of all, what he said was that he is finding it boring, always doing the same thing, okay? So that's one of the things that it's okay, Destiny 2 is a lot of doing the same thing, grind up your light level, whatnot. But there is also an underlying another reason why, and that is he's stuck doing the same things. Because he doesn't have the Lightfall DLC. So he doesn't have the weapon that comes with Lightfall. He doesn't have the fun of going to farm out all the gear with his friends. He doesn't have the new campaign. And furthermore, if that wasn't bad enough, because even though I have Lightfall, because of how Destiny 2 currently works, I could not bring him into any Lightfall only missions or anything like that. And I do also want to point out that that's the same with content involving his friends. If he were to buy Lightfall, sure, he'd be able to play Lightfall with me, but he couldn't do any Lightfall content with his friends because they wouldn't own Lightfall. And that is the thing. Now, he is on Xbox, so I assume eventually Lightfall will come free for Xbox Gold Pass. What's it called? Game Pass. Game Pass, that's what it's called. But for now, he's moved on to a different game. In case you guys are wondering what game, Sea of Thieves, oddly enough. Which Sea of Thieves, if I'm being honest, I thought about trying at one point, but I never got around to it yet. Yeah, I never actually got around to it. Now, I did actually watch someone play through a little bit of Kingdom Hearts 3, I think it was. And they said that there was a part that seemed a lot like Sea of Thieves. And then in my mind, I was like, Well, I may as well have played Sea of Thieves just now. And then I never actually ended up playing it. But yeah, that is what happened with the Destiny 2 thing. Now, moving on to the whole thing about, what is it called? Marvel Snap. Marvel Snap, it's very weird to go from a console slash PC game like Destiny 2 to talking about Marvel Snap, which is a PC but primarily mobile game. It's more like a mobile game with a PC port at this point. But yeah, the reason I'm going to it straight to it, because in the past, I would say 2 months, February and March, yeah, I ended up spending a good amount of money on both of these games, Destiny 2 and Marvel Snap. Oddly enough, the same amount of money on both, just about. And it occurred to me that things are a lot different than they used to be. I mean, it's just really hitting that home, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Because back in Destiny 1 days, or back, I guess, in the Game Boy Color days and stuff, would be the best comparison to mobile games. Yeah, Game Boy games would be the best comparison we have. But anyway, back in those days with Destiny 1, you bought the game and you had it. I guess was uh, there was one big expansion, I guess, which was the Taken King, but for the most part, other than that, you bought the game once, you had it, and then I remember playing, what is it called? Why am I spacing out on what this game is? Dragon Age. Dragon Age. There we go. I remember playing Dragon Age 2, actually. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I enjoyed it quite a bit. But yeah, Dragon Age 2, and then on the mobile or Game Boy side, we had, of course, Pokemon, but I did play Mega Man Battle Network too. I loved Mega Man Battle Network. It was brilliant. One of my games that I went through. That's why I'm so happy that we are getting a version of Battle Network. I am so thrilled that we're getting a legacy collection. I'll probably end up playing it on my YouTube channel. I'll probably end up playing it on my YouTube channel. And I think that's great. I mean, I might consider streaming it too. I don't know, but I'm definitely going to be playing it. It's going to be awesome. Mega Man Battle Network, enjoyed it so much. All the hours. Okay, I'm getting way off topic, but I decided that I can go through a bit of nostalgia. But anyway, back to the stuff. We also have Pokemon, and I'm talking about Game Boy Color, maybe Game Boy Advanced as well. Pokemon. I'm not talking about the Pokemon we have now. Or maybe to a point I am, because basically Pokemon without DLC. But see, Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance, that would be before Nintendo discovered the power of internet. So, that's just one of the things. I guess they are both fruits, but it's not exactly apple to oranges comparison, if you will. My point being that it truly was a different time for video games back then. Okay. Now it just typically a lot of games go under the whole free to play model. I won't say free to play in air quotes if I can, because a lot of free to play games these days are not really free to play, in my opinion. Now, with that said, yes, you can technically choose to just not spend money. It's like, oh, have self control. No one's making you spend money. Shouldn't you want to support the developer? Yeah. I mean, making a game that costs a lot of hours and a lot of money. So I understand supporting the developer, but there's a difference between supporting the developer and setting up the game to restrict you a lot if you don't buy such and such. Now, Marvel Snap is actually a bit different. It's a mobile game. Mobile games are known for their either gotcha mechanics, like a gotcha style game, and different things like that. In Marvel Snap, you can technically win a good amount of game with spending no money, a fully free to play account, because you are guaranteed pull one card, you're guaranteed to pull two cards eventually, and you're guaranteed pull three cards over time, probably, maybe. It's kind of RNG, so maybe not guaranteed, but then again, guaranteed. Whereas with a game like Destiny 2, you're paying for the ability to play with your friends, new missions and stuff, but they can only play with you if they then have the thing. So you're talking about a commitment there. So you're like, oh, it's free to play. I'm going to check it out. It's cool. It's awesome. But then it's like, okay, fine, you can check it out. But if you want to play these missions with your friend, then you're going to have to pay $20, $50, $100 right away on this game. You don't even know if you play beyond just one time. But with that said, there is the argument to be made that it's worth it to play with your friend. Now, the only reason I am even making that argument is because I have a friend that is like that sometimes. Okay, so she has been my friend for a long time. And when she first did it, I was super shocked. It was this $30 sing-along game, I think, 30, 60, somewhere around there. It was a sing-along game. Yeah, I sing sometimes. But yeah, it was a sing-along game. We only played it once and then never again. She ended up spending the money for it and whatnot, and then we never touched it ever again. I asked her one day, why aren't we ever playing it again? If you didn't get the full value of your money, did you? Her answer surprised me because her answer was yes. Her answer was she enjoyed us playing the game that time. So you will have some cases like that, I feel. If you have the DLC already and your friend has some extra money lying around, or you'll have some extra money lying around to buy the thing for them. That is a way around what I'm saying. And now I just made my point and argued that point, so I'm literally in the middle of a debate between myself, apparently. But yeah, that's the thing on there. But long story short, circling around, my nephew ended up playing a different game. Now, my nephew actually has Game Pass. So, games like Sea of Thieves and stuff. And I believe Sea of Thieves is multiplayer, so I believe he plays them with his friends and stuff. You know what games I want to see more of? Anime style games, like JRPG style anime game. Not just JRPG like the Tale series. Games like, there was this One Piece game. I think it came out already. It's One Piece in the JRPG style. And I don't know, it kind of speaks to me. I'm not up to date on One Piece. I'm like maybe roughly around 200 episodes behind, maybe. Okay, but that's by design. I almost caught up one day, but then I was like, no, 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 because I like binge watching One Piece. I'll be honest. One Piece is one of those animes I prefer binge watching because there's a lot of nonsensical episodes. And I'm one of the people that if I watch a nonsensical sensical episode of an anime and feel like it's a waste, I feel like I wasted my time watching that episode, or not really wasting my time, but there's not another episode to look forward to, there's no real episode to look forward to. I'm just stuck with the non-real episodes. It's like the Naruto flashbacks all over again. Flashback, filler episodes. Naruto had so many filler episodes. It's like you would get maybe 5 minutes of the actual battle, and the rest would just be filler. And then after the intro and outro, it was just over. So yeah, that's my opinion on there. And yeah, I told you, I guess you could count this episode maybe as a nonsensical episode. Toward the end, anyway. I think I made some valid points in the beginning. I think. But yeah, I'm going to end it off here. I just want to say that stuff, get out there, and what have you. I think sometime during that whole thing, I sounded like an old man reminiscing on the good old days where you could buy a video game for $20 to $60 and play it all without having to worry about the game being completed in a DLC. Okay, well, I'm going to end it off there. Thank you guys for listening.